Good morning, Facebook friends. How about some red beans and rice today? Doesn't that sound good to you? Let me tell you what I bought. I went to the pig and I bought this. These are dried red kidney beans. And y'all, they are as hard as a rock. You know, the dry beans, I mean, they got all kinds. Well, these big ones like this take forever to cook. So, I'm going to have this for supper tonight. I'm putting it on this morning time. So I'm going to put these beans on. That's your red beans. And I'm going to put them in this. I've got me some water on here. It's not quite at a boil, but I'm going to put them in. Now this water is going to soak up. I mean, the beans are going to soak up this water that I've got in here. I got them covered good, you know. I've got probably 2 inches above the beans. And I'm not going to salt it right now, but I'm going to, as soon as this comes to a hard boil, I am going to turn them down to a low simmer, maybe 2 or 3. I just want it barely simmering. And I probably will have to add a little more water after a while if this soaks everything up. And so this is going to have to cook several hours. And I'm going to taste them, and when they get good and tender, I'm going to add all my other stuff, and I'll be back with you. We'll have some New Orleans style red beans and rice. Okay, I've been outside planting some chrysanthemums, and while my beans are cooking, I want y'all to look. They're done. Do you see how they're done now? I tasted them. They're good and tender, like this. And it took about 2.5, 3 hours they've been cooking since I first put them on. And so I'm just gonna, now I'm gonna add some things. All right, the first thing I'm gonna add to my beans is this. I'm gonna add a whole can of tomatoes. Now that was a pound of beans, okay? 1 pound of dried beans. And this is 38 ounces of petite diced tomatoes. I'm gonna put that in there. And then I had a few tomatoes left over the other morning when I was making tomato gravy. So I'm going to put that in there. All right, I'm going to stir it around. Now I'm going to start adding some other things. So come over here with me and let's get set up on my chopping block. And we're going to add a few other things. See if you can see down there and that. All right, let me get my knife. All right, well, we're going to put in our red beans and rice. We're going to put some celery. I've already washed this celery, but you know, I like to string it a little bit because I don't like strings in my celery. So we're going to do that. But anyway, I rooted these chrysanthemums. They're real easy to root. You know, when you buy those big pots of chrysanthemums to decorate for the fall time, well, it's a perennial. I know y'all know that, and it comes back every year. So what I do is I just cut them back, and that part that I cut back, I stick back down in the dirt, and it roots. If you'll keep it damp and kind of moist a little bit, it'll root. And so I had rooted some yellow ones and some white ones, and I'm going to plant them in a different place than where they actually were. So, all right. So, y'all know how to string. You just barely get up under there just like that and pull, and it just gets all those old stringy things off. I think that's why some people don't like celery. But now it puts a really good flavor in your red beans and rice. So, anyway, I've got on my yard boots and out there just getting it today. That one seems kind of pithy. I don't know if y'all know what that means. That's a soft spot in that celery. That one's not a good one. I'm not going to use that part that I just cut off. All right. Now then, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it each one in half. I think that'll be good. Then I'm going to cut it in some little chunks, and I'm going to throw her in. This celery is going to give it a good flavor and give it some body. Then I'm going to cook my rice in a separate container and put this over it. That's what I'm going to do. All right. I'm trying to get through because, you know, since daylight savings time has started, it gets dark so early that I can't get anything done around here. before I know it, it'll be dark and turning chilly as the night gets kind of chilly. My mama used to make red beans and rice a lot. All right, here goes our celery in. Put that in, and that'll be some good. All right, now I'm gonna cut up my onion, and I got a real big one. Look how big that thing is. I'm gonna put one onion in it. Just give it a quick peel. I told y'all once before, when you wear contacts, you won't cry when you cut up an onion. Keeps all that old gas from getting in your eyeballs. Anyway, all right. Some of you people from New Orleans and down in the Louisiana way, you could teach me a thing or two I know about this red beans and rice. Y'all are the pros at that kind of thing. I know that you are. Onion makes everything taste better. Oh yes. Cut it up now in some little squares real quickly. The reason I'm doing it real quickly is because I want to get outside and finish planting those plants before they die. But my beans are ready, so I had to come back inside and fix it. I cooked some extra fried pies this morning for breakfast. So I just carried my two neighbors. One of them's my sister-in-law, the other one's my cousin. And so I carried them a fried pie this morning. They live on the side of me. All right, we're coming right along here. So it looks like a lot of onion, but when you get it in there with that big pound of beans I've got over there, it doesn't look like so much at all. Let's see what's going on around here in Andalusia. Well, yesterday, I ate out with my little lunch bunch girlfriends. They're all retired teachers like me, and we go out every Tuesday and have lunch together. Sometimes I can't go, but I got to go yesterday, and that was fun. And then we ate at Hilltop yesterday. Hilltop Seafood Market. All right, here we go. Let me get one of these little things. That'll help me pick it up, won't it? Thank y'all for whoever gave this to me. Let me get it over here. We're going to put onions in it. It's going to be delicious. Let's make it a big pot of it. I'll have to give some of this away. All right, you've got your celery in it, your onion in it. I'm going to put a garlic clove or two in there and probably put some little extra garlic powder. Some of these feel like they're drying up. That one seems good. Let's see what we got. Let's get that little garlic clove out of there. That one doesn't look too good. Maybe they're kind of old. Let me see. I planted me some garlic one time. A garlic has a beautiful bloom on it. Looks like a giant purple ball. They are so pretty. This one's a good one. That's good. All right. You can put as much garlic as you want to in your red beans and rice. Just make sure you get that old outside part of it off, because it'll be... I'm going to cut it up a time or two so all those good flavors can come out. I'll just kind of cut it a few little times here and throw it in. All right. Let's see if I can find another one that was good. That one's Some of them, I think I need to buy some more garlic. I've had that one sitting in my onion thing too long, I guess. You could buy minced garlic in a jar if y'all want to do that. You could buy you some minced garlic in a jar. There's a pretty one. I'm gonna have to, I'll just put some, this is all I've got. I'll put it in there and then I'll put some garlic powder in there. And you want to salt it to taste. I don't know how much salt to tell you to take, but we're gonna just salt it to taste. And then I'm gonna put in some spices and that kind of stuff in there. All right, we want to get our onion kind of mixed in to our beans real good. Boy, it's getting thick. You see how good and thick it's gonna be? All right, there's one I lift out. All right, what I'm gonna do now is we'll turn this off just a minute. I'm gonna get my other spices together and then we'll put those in. Okay, I'm ready to put in some of my spices. So what I'm going to do is the first spice I'm gonna put in is paprika, and I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of paprika in it. Then I'm gonna put in some crushed red pepper flakes. And I'm not going to put but a teaspoon in right now because I'm going to let it cook a while and then I'll determine whether I need some more. I'm going to put in just 1 teaspoon and that's it. Because these may be really hot. And since I didn't have a whole lot of garlic, I'm going to put in some garlic powder. So I'm going to put in a couple of teaspoons of that. And I never did salt it, so I'm not going to put much salt in. I'm just going to put a little bit and then see how that's going to be. Maybe about that much. Just put a little salt. The last thing I'm going to put in is this seasoning right here, and this is just a Creole seasoning. You can use whatever Creole seasoning you want to use, just some kind of a Creole seasoning. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of this. Now, do not put any more salt in it until you let this cook a while and see how it's going to be. Because you'll get it too salty in a little while because this has salt in it already. Now so you want to just make sure that you don't put too much in there. All right, I'm going to let this cook a while and simmer. And then in about an hour, I'm going to taste it and see if it needs more salt or more of any of these seasonings. And then tonight, I'm going to cook our rice and probably a little cornbread to go with it. And that's going to be our supper. Red beans and rice. So I'm just going to let that cook right there. Simmer around a little bit. Now you probably, if you had a mind to, and you want to do your crock pot, do it in a crock pot, I don't see why you couldn't. I don't do that, but that doesn't mean you can't do that and try that. So that'd be a good thing. So I'll be back with you just a little bit. We're going to taste it and see what else I need to put in it, okay? Okay, y'all, I've let our beans simmer a couple of hours more, and you see how they're looking? They're looking really good. So now I'm going to put in the last ingredients. You could put these in before now if you wanted to and let them simmer all day, but I've got plenty of time before supper. So I've got me a skillet here, and I'm going to put a little olive oil in it. You know, just a little bit. And then I'm going to cut up my sausage to go in my red beans and rice. Let's get you down here with that. And what I've got is I got my sausage at Hilltop, and I got the mild. This is smoked pork sausage, and it's the mild. Now, if you like spicy, hey, y'all can get it hot if you want to. They've got all kinds of sausage down there, but I'm going to get out a couple of these. I think this will probably be enough right here. I'm going to cut these up in little circles. I'm going to fry them a little bit just to sear them, and then I'm going to put them in our red beans and rice. So I'm going to cut them in kind of bite sizes right here, like this. And this flavor will go on through them because it's just early in the afternoon now. And so, yeah. So it'll be a while before we eat supper. This is kind of an all-day thing, but you don't have to stay with it, darling. You can put your beans on early that morning and go do whatever you got to do. And then put your other stuff in it. Or you could, I guess you could go ahead and put your sausage in it to start with. And just let it simmer all day. These are some fine sausage, aren't they? Anyway, I got my head tied up, as you can see. I finished planting the chrysanthemums. I got them watered in. And hopefully they'll live. Hopefully the ones that didn't have a root on it, I planted those too to see if I couldn't root them. My skillet's getting too hot over there. That's why I keep looking. I've got my eye on. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there. Some of them are a little bit bigger than bite sizes, aren't they? I need to cut them again. All right, that looks about right. Okay, y'all come over here to the skillet here. Let's see if I can put you over here, right here. You can see it better. There you go. All right, I'm just gonna put these in. We're gonna sear them a little bit. Just a quick fry. Oh, and I didn't put any more of these seasonings in it. What we put at the beginning, that was plenty. Let me finish cut this sausage up. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of parsley in it. And let that simmer for the rest of the time. Just keep kind of, so the flavors will all blend in. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of parsley, and that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Okay? This is a spoon I've been stirring the beans with right here. Oh, goodness. And we'll put us on the pot of rice in a little bit. I'm going to turn this back on high since I'm over here with it. This olive oil will taste good in there too. So while I'm waiting on this to cook, I'm going to put in my last little spice. It's going to be dried parsley. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon in there. And sprinkle it around. And that's all I'm going to put of that. So this is it. Salt and Creole seasoning, paprika, garlic powder. And I put some real garlic in it, you know, and I didn't. Okay, I put a little bit of crushed red pepper. And this and the parsley. But listen, on the crushed red pepper, I only put in a teaspoon. Now, if y'all are kind of sensitive to hot, you may want to just use a half a teaspoon. Because I tasted it, and it's nice and spicy. It's nice and spicy. Anyway, this is about ready to go in. And when I put it in there, I'm going to put the olive oil in there too. That'll make it extra good. And then we're going to cook our rice and make a little cornbread. And we've got dinner ready for tonight. Well, we call it supper in Alabama. Y'all call it, my mama and daddy used to always say breakfast, dinner, and supper. And that's what we call it. Okay, I think that is brown enough. See there, actually these sausage are already done. They cook them in a big smokehouse at Hilltop. They are fine. Let me get me a hot pan out. We're going to pour this in our beans now. Let me turn you around where you can see that. And then we're going to let it simmer a little bit more. And we're going to have us a good supper. That's a pot of food, isn't it? My goodness. We want to put that olive oil in there because that's got flavor too. Where we fried all that good sausage. Whew. All right, we're going to give it a little stir. And we're just going to let it sit here. I've got it on 1. That's not very hot, but that's what I want it to do. It's just going to sit here and simmer. And all those flavors are going to go in together. And we will be ready for supper in a little while. And when I get ready to do my rice, I'll be back on here and we'll do our rice, okay? Bye. Okay, our rice is done. I want you to see this. All right, there it is. And you see how flaky it is? See that? And so what I'm going to do is just put the top on it. I've turned it off. And I'm just going to let it sit in that pot till we're ready to eat. So it's nice and flaky and tender. I taste it. Okay, y'all, the red beans and rice are ready. I'm fixing to eat mine.